Hi everybody, this should be a fairly quick video. This is going to be a response to a request that I received in the comment section of my modified Thinkway karate action Buzz Lightyear video. I will post a link to that video in the description of this video. Please check that video out. I go over the modifications that I made to this guy, which is I added a laser, he talks, and he has better opposable legs. I also showed an unmodified version of that video to give context to the mods that I made on this guy. This one is now modified, however. The request was from Toy Story Collector. He requested that I disassemble the modified version so he could see how the battery compartment was installed. I'm not going to need to take one apart to demonstrate that, but I will take the back cover off. As far as installing a battery compartment, that's not necessary. The compartment actually already exists, or rather compartments in this case. It's just that there is no hardware like terminals or wires to support electronics. Those are the things that would need to be installed. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. When I think of a battery compartment, I think of the actual physical space where you would put the batteries. This one in particular is for 3 AA batteries, and the compartment is the empty space. The hardware is the metal terminals, and then obviously wiring. So if you look on the inside, there are these small metal tabs that are sticking out. Those are actually attached to or part of these terminals. That's where you would solder wires to run to the electronics to power it. Now, as far as the Karate Action Buzz Lightyear, there are no electronics, meaning there are no terminals, so you would assume there is no battery compartment, which is not true. So to get to where the battery compartments are, there are 3 screws in the jetpack cover, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom. I've already removed those screws. Once you remove those screws, the cover just pops off, and this is what you'll see. So this is interesting because if you look at the back of the cover, there are these 4 tabs that stick out that are lined up with these empty slots. That would be to hold batteries in place. So it's interesting that it looks like it's designed to hold batteries despite the fact that there's no electronics. This is just the turbine housing that sits on top of this arm, which is connected to the karate chop mechanism. Obviously, these LEDs are something that I installed. Those aren't something that would normally be seen. These slots are sized for AAA batteries, so that's another thing to consider. So this is a photo I took before I modified this guy. This is the back of the modified version up here. As you can see, there are batteries installed. This is the unmodified, well, what was the unmodified version without batteries. You can see the difference. There's just no terminals, but the compartments still exist. So as far as terminals go, I took the terminals for this guy out of a Rick and Morty portal gun that I bought at, I think it was Spirit Halloween years ago. And the only reason I did that is because I didn't have any terminals laying around at the time. You can, however, purchase terminals all kinds of places. Amazon is one of those places you can get them, and they're cheap. That's where these came from. So a 20 pair pack of either AA or AAA off of Amazon is only $5. And these are the exact terminals that you'll need. So the way this works is once you buy the terminals and you get them, you just basically press them into place. You'll notice that there's this plastic material that sticks out. And if you look at the sides of the terminals, they're crimped. So it's basically just friction holding them into place. And these tabs will be the part that sticks into his body or inside of him. This is what the inside looks like of the Karate Action Buzz Lightyear. As you can see, there's already holes at the top and the bottom of both compartments for those tabs to stick through, which will look something like that. So as far as battery compartment installation, there's no need to install a compartment. All you'll need is the hardware, which is the terminals and then wiring. And then you can fit whatever electronics in there that you want. That is where all the work is. It's not the compartment itself. The compartment already exists. This one, real quick, like I said, is modified. So the modifications I made to this guy, aren't quite as extensive as the modifications I made to this one. I kind of wanted him to function like a blast-off Buzz Lightyear, so he can talk, and then he also has these lights that would illuminate his, I guess, exhaust ports. I'll show you how that works real quick. So something that you'll notice with this one and with this one is that they're very quiet. And that isn't because of the type of speaker that I used or anything, because they're just regular Thinkway speakers. It's because if you look at the bottom of his chest, there are no holes or no speaker grill. This is what it looks like on the bottom of a Buzz that was meant to have electronics and speakers. There's no way for sound to get out. I am going to modify them at some point so sound can escape, but I'm going to try to do it in such a way that you don't see it. I'd rather not have holes on the bottom of his chest. But anyways, the mods that I made to this guy were just the fact that he can talk. Funny, he has a laser sound, but no laser. And then anytime he talks, it'll illuminate these lights. That's similar to how the blast-off Buzz Lightyear works. So the way that I hook these up, I just wired all 4 of these LEDs to his speaker circuit. There's such a low draw on these that they don't really affect that speaker circuit, so it doesn't really change the sound quality. The fact that there are no speaker grills is more of an effect on his sound quality than the additional draw from the LEDs. But it does function as I intended. And another thing, I kind of wanted the modifications on this guy to be as, I guess, hidden as possible. So I did make it so you can actually turn them off. If you know anything about the Karate Action Buzz Lightyear, the wing button does nothing. You can't even press it. But this one, you can actually press it. Now what that does is it turns off his electronics. So that's off, obviously, nothing works, and then you turn it on. And that will enable all of his electronics. But anyway, yeah, so as far as battery compartment, they already exist. You just need to get the hardware. And as far as the electronics, that's an entirely different story. I may get another one of these and modify it, and when I do, I'll make a video of me actually performing the work, because that's the majority of the stuff that is a pain. As far as like I said, the battery compartment, it already exists. Please check out my other videos and subscribe. Thanks.